The Annual Fiddlers Picnic. The Annual Fiddlers Picnic by Michelle Vivaldi Tacci. Ernest arrived home after a long day to find a fancy-looking letter in his mailbox. He took it down into his burrow and opened it. It was an invitation to the Annual Fiddlers Picnic. Ernest was so excited. The Annual Fiddlers Picnic was a big deal, and he had always wanted to go. Still, he was worried. There were rumors that a ghost crab haunted the line of rocks that enclosed the shoreline, picking off single, unsuspecting crabs. He had never seen the ghost crab, nor had he met anyone who had seen him. The thought of crossing the rocks to the shore made his eye stalks retreat into his carapace, but he decided that he would be brave. The next morning, he packed his bag and made sure his burrow was tidy and well hidden. Then he slung his bag over his carapace and headed out. Ernest made his way down the beach, making sure to keep himself hidden along the grass line. He came across a beach hopper making his burrow under a pile of washed-up seaweed.
"Excuse me, Mr. Hopper, but have you ever heard of the ghost crab?" he asked.
The beach hopper shuddered and said,
"I've never seen him, but I heard my aunt say that he ate her cousin." "Oh dear, I'm so sorry," said Ernest. "You be careful now," said the hopper. He waved goodbye to Ernest and hid in his burrow. Ernest continued along the shore until he reached the crossing of rocks. He stopped, shaking with fear. He looked at the rocks. There was no ghost crab in sight. He spotted a pillbug and decided to ask him if he knew anything about the infamous crab. "Pardon me, Mr. Pillbug, but have you seen the ghost crab that lives in these rocks?"
The pillbug's roly-poly body quaked in terror, and he said, "No, I've never seen him, but my sister told me he ate her neighbors."
"Oh my!"
said Ernest. He looked at the rocks, wondering if the Annual Fiddlers Picnic was really worth getting eaten by the ghost crab. He took a few steps forward and stopped.
"No," he thought, "I can't do it."
Just as he had decided to turn around and go home, a terrible thing happened. The ground shook, and before he knew it, Ernest was being lifted up in the air. An enormous creature was holding him between huge, log-like pincers and staring at him with tremendous blue eyes. This wasn't the ghost crab, but Ernest knew this was the end of him. As he braced himself for his untimely demise, he glimpsed a blur on the ground. The monster that was holding him let out a yelp, and Ernest found himself falling to the ground. Ernest made a run for it and scrambled up the rocks as fast as he could. He looked back to find what had saved him from the giant.
To his amazement, a ghostly claw waved at him before disappearing into the rocks. The ghost crab! He had really seen the ghost crab, and it had saved him from certain doom. Ernest had a great time at the Annual Fiddlers Picnic. He met new crabs from all over the beach, and whenever someone asked him if he had ever heard of the terrifying ghost crab, he would nod and say, "Well, yes, I have seen him, and he's not terrifying at all." The end.